when I used to read Section 5 of Hindu Marriage Act, where the legislature tried to define Section 5 of the Act, where it says who is Hindu. So it includes Sikh, it includes Jain, it includes Buddhism. But when I will go in the 6th century BC, I will find what are the causes of origin of Buddhism and Jainism. Earlier he was a Hindu, then he converted to Christian, then again he reconverted to the Hinduism. The court held it may be more accurate to say that he never lost his caste in the first instance. It doesn't matter how much money I have. It doesn't matter how much high office I got in my life being a scheduled caste, because my first identity for the common people, that is my caste. Even still, whenever I used to speak anywhere, they'll try to know who is this man Verma. So they will identify my caste. They will identify me by my caste, not my content, which is containing in my mental faculty, because I will speak on the favor of these reservation. And thereafter, UPA government, under the leadership of Mr. Manmohan Singh, they have constituted two committees. One is Ranganathan Mishra Committee in 2004, and thereafter Justice Rajendra Sachar Committee in 2005. In Ranganathan Mishra Committee, they have recommended the scheduled caste reservation for Dalit converts to Christianity and Islam. But apart from it, my personal view, because the organizer has given the authority to express my personal view as well. When I used to read Section 5 of Hindu Marriage Act, where the legislature tried to define Section 5 of the Act, where it says who is Hindu. So it includes Sikh, it includes Jain, it includes Buddhism. But when I will go in the 6th century BC, I will find what are the causes of origin of Buddhism and Jainism. They were against to Hindu philosophy. If I am wrong, there is August gathering who might correct me. So there is a contradiction while defining the word Hindu in Section 5. Because a number of times I used to talk to some Jain friend, कि यार तुम तो जैन हो, तुम कहते हो आप कलर रिलीजन है, फिर तुम हिंदू को हो. उसी तरह के बुद्धिस्ट भी है. दे आर जमीन आसमान का फर्क है बुद्धिज्म और हिंदुइज्म के अंदर. But despite that, we adopted these two amendments. Thereafter, Kaka-Kelkar committee has been constituted by the government in 1995, and thereafter, before this, in 1983, High Power Panel on Minorities, Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes has been constituted. And later on, thereafter, I will come by, because I will speak on the favor of these reservation. And thereafter, UPA government, under the leadership of Mr. Manmohan Singh, they have constituted two committees. One is Ranganathan Mishra Committee in 2004, and thereafter Justice Rajendra Sachar Committee in 2005. In Ranganathan Mishra Committee, they have recommended the scheduled caste reservation for Dalit converts to Christianity and Islam. And further, Justice Mishra Commission for Religious and Linguistic Minorities, Dalit Christians and Muslims face discrimination not only from the upper caste member of their own religion, but also from the broader Hindu-dominated society. And thereafter, it further says the denial of SC status to Dalit converts to Christianity and Islam has led to their socio-economic and educational backwardness and has deprived them of access to reservation in education and employment opportunities. The central government has discredited this report. But the apex court, the Honorable Supreme Court, believes, because in certain judgment they have quoted and like obiter dicta, not as a residendi, the apex court believes it contains valuable information in respect when this Supreme Court dealing with these two commission report, Justice Ranganathan Mishra and the Justice Sachar Committee report, it says it contains valuable information that help determine if excluding Dalit converts from the SC category is unconstitutional according to the Constitution Order of 1950. And finally, in conclusion, I would like to say in respect of Justice Ranganathan Mishra Committee report, it was about the recommendation to add Dalit Christian and Dalit Muslim under the category of scheduled caste. Further, it held the exclusion of Dalit convert to Christianity and Islam from the scheduled caste category violate their constitutional right to equality. and further Justice Sachar Committee report. The report emphasized that the conversion to Islam did not necessarily lead to an improvement in their social or economical status, and they continue to face marginalization. I would like to quote here one example of my personal experience. In 2010, I was working with one law firm. In that law firm, there is one guy who was doing the work of sweeping. His name is Sunil. Later on, I came to know his name is Sunil Peter. वो चुपचाप बैठा रहता था ऑफिस में कोने पर, उसके साथ जो ज़्यादा लोग बात नहीं करते थे. And I came to know ये हमारा बंदा है. So one day, और करता क्या था, वो टॉयलेट का काम करता था वहाँ पर. एक दिन मैं उससे पूछा मैंने क्या है. Then he told me that he belonged to the IFSC community, but later on he converted as in Christianity. But despite this, he was facing that social discrimination. तो मैंने कहा कि तो मेरे ऑफिस, हमारे खाने का अलग से रूम होता था, कॉन्फ्रेंस रूम में हम खाना खाते थे. तो वो ना तो खाना सर्व कर सकता था, बल्कि जो क्लर्क थे हमारे ऑफिस के, उसके साथ भी वो खाना नहीं खाता था. He was deprived. Now once what happened, I asked him to come with me and have a lunch with me. बोला नहीं सर कैसे बात कर रहे हो, मैं नहीं कर सकता. But I forced him to have a lunch with me. But this thing when came in the knowledge of my bosses, they have terminated me from my service. The broke rule of my office, you cannot have a food with a sweeper. So despite, why I am quoting this, despite conversion of his religion from Hindu to Christian, his social status has not been changed. So there is one report of Registrar General of India. They have given against to this its opinion against this report. So I am not going to discuss that finding of this Registrar General. But I would like to quote some data and survey. Why these people, those have converted, need reservation, need constitutional remedies. There is one data that is issued by National Family Health Survey 2019 and 21, where it says the SC individuals who identify as Christians or others, including Buddhists and Sikhs, tend to have slightly higher level of human capital and more assets compared to their Hindu counterparts, while scheduled caste Muslim generally exhibit the worst socio-economic outcomes. So they have given some percentage how they have improved, how they have decreased in numbers. Thereafter, there is another report that is called Pew Research Center Data, PEW, that is issued in 1920. We say that is significant proportion of Christian in India, that is 33%. 33% identify as a belong to scheduled caste. So in India, there is Christian community, I think they are 8 or 10% of the population of the nation. Out of this 10%, 33% Christians are scheduled caste. And there is another report issued by India Spend. India Spend analysis of NSSO India data from 4 to 5 reveal poverty rates among different religious groups with a scheduled caste background, indicating the Dalit Buddhist held the highest poverty rate, that is 45.9%, and followed by Dalit Muslim, that is around 40%, and Dalit Hindu 38%, and Dalit Christian 30.1%, and Dalit Sikhs 7.6%. So this way you can understand how much they have progress. So they don't have too much progress. Similarly, in Apex Court, though there is a divergent view, there are different views of the Supreme Court on this aspect. सर ने भी एक कोट किया था वो जजमेंट्स, तो मैं उसको रिपीट नहीं करूंगा. In Ganpat versus Returning Officer in 1975, the Supreme Court held, what the Supreme Court had opined, the change in religion neither abrogated one's caste status nor ameliorated their socio-economic condition. I can change my religion, but I cannot change my caste. This is the contradictory irony of this nation. So the Supreme Court in 1971-75 said कि if just conversion is not enough, no socio-economic condition will be changed of an individual. And the one case which is referred by Sir, that is S. Anbalgan versus Devaraju in 1984. Supreme Court further said, where a Christian sought to reconvert back to Hinduism. Earlier he was a Hindu, then he converted to Christian, then again he reconverted to the Hinduism. The court held, it may be more accurate to say that he never lost his caste in the first instance. It doesn't matter how much money I have. It doesn't matter how much high office I got in my life, being a scheduled caste. Because my first identity for the common people, that is my caste. Even still, whenever I used to speak anywhere, they'll try to know who is this man, Verma. So they will identify my caste. They will identify me by my caste, not my content, which is containing in my mental faculty. So on similar aspect, the Supreme Court said this thing in this judgment. And further, there is one another judgment, Susi versus Union of India. There are three judges' judgment. You know, there is one concept in the Supreme Court, what we call per incurium. If two judges' bench has passed an order, what is happening in number of cases? Two judges pass a judgment, which is applicable to everyone in all the subordinate judiciary. But further on the same issue, further a bench has changed that view. And now, while arguing the matter before the court, the lawyer will say, just a recent judgment hai. No, that is per incurium. If subsequent bench said or think, there is one issue has been already decided and we have different views, let us send to the larger bench. But it is happening, it is not, it is happening. You will find out number of judgments in MHCD cases as well. So in Susi versus Union of India in 1986, three judges bench held that it must be shown by the communities there existed a comparable depth of social and economic disabilities, cultural and educational backwardness, as well as similar levels of degradation within the Christian community that they suffered to avail the Supreme Court status. It is not sufficient to show the same caste continues after conversion. It is necessary to establish further that the disabilities and handicaps suffered from such caste membership in the social order of its origin Hinduism continue in their oppressive severity in the new environment of the different religious community. So there are a number of cases. Sir, how much time I have? Please. So there is another judgment called the Principal Guntur Medical College, Guntur versus Mohan Rao in 1976. What has happened in this case? The similar aspect has been discussed by the Supreme Court. Similarly, in KP Manu versus Chairman Security Committee for Verification of Community Welfare, thereafter Indra Sahani, which Sir was discussing about the secular character of this nation. Justice P.V. Sawant noticed that when Islam and Christianity made their entries and ruled the nation, many from lower caste got converted to their religion, because the Supreme Court tried to went in the history how these people have converted. So while defining this thing, the Supreme Court held by Justice P.V. Sawant, when Islam and Christianity made their entries in the ruled the nation, many from lower caste got converted to their religion as a way to escape from discrimination. We'll find out if you will go to the western UP, there are Muslim Gujar. If you will go to Kashmir, you will find Mr. Malik. They are Jats. So this surname they are still carrying, despite converting their religion from Hindu to Muslims. However, the change of religion did not always succeed in eliminating caste. The converts carried with their caste and occupation to the new religion. The result has been that even among Sikhs, Muslims and Christian caste prevail in varying degree in practice. So just like changing who you worship won't change your skin color or anything, etc. The same can't change people, occupation, skills, inheritance, net of worth of health, which is determined by the caste in India. So in State versus Punjab and recent case Devinder Singh, the Supreme Court said and supported the view that classification of scheduled caste should not only be based on religion, but on socio-economic realities of a person else it would defeat the constitutional mandate. So we have to extract this provision of the Supreme Court judgment while putting our representation to the commission, which is headed by Justice K.G. Balakrishnan. Similarly, Justice R.F. Nariman in Jarnail Singh case, what he said, the whole object of reservation is to see that the backward classes of citizens move forward so that they may march hand in hand with other citizens of India on equal footing. Here the word used citizen, rather any community or religion, is highlighted. Thus the object is very clear in itself. They are talking about citizen, doesn't matter which religion you belong. So there are number of reasons of conversion, you know, what kind of social and economical atrocities we have suffered, the person suffered who has converted the religion. I don't want to say on this aspect. And the main question, what they are facing after conversion, what kind of behavior they are facing from the people of their particular religion or by the other caste or religion as well. So what I found personally, despite conversion, oppression of the marginalized communities prevailed and is often exacerbated or ज़्यादा हुआ. How? There are certain example like James Macy. James Macy is basically an American informant theorist. What he said about the people those are converting the religion, he said they are facing threefold of discrimination. Number one, they suffer many forms of oppression including social, economic and political deprivation at the hands of so-called higher caste. Second, by Dalit who practice different religion. Suppose one scheduled caste who convert his religion, one Dalit who follow the Lord Ram and etc. etc. So he will treat him in a different way.
नेशनल दस्तक की आपसे गुजारिश है कि अगर इसको बचाना चाहते हैं तो नेशनल दस्तक को सब्सक्राइब करने के लिए रेड कलर के सब्सक्राइब बटन को दबाएं, फिर बेल आइकन की घंटी दबाएं। नेशनल दस्तक को बचाने के लिए बहुत जरूरी है कि हर खबर को शेयर करें, लाइक करें, कमेंट जरूर करें।